Well, one of those sleepless MPs is Dean Del Mastro, the Prime Minister's parliamentary secretary. Is under investigation by Elections Canada, and he's under attack from the opposition. Today, while he was voting in the House, the CBC obtained an affidavit used to search bank records. Senior correspondent Terry Milewski explains what's in it. Terry.
Well, Peter, it's important to note that Dean Del Mastro is not facing any criminal charges, but he is facing sworn allegations by an Elections Canada investigator, who in this affidavit accuses Del Mastro of willfully breaking the election spending laws in his 2008 campaign and then covering it up.
My statements are fully audited.
Del Mastro told the CBC last week that his campaign expenses for 2008 were all above board. But Elections Canada says that Del Mastro's legal limit for that campaign was $92,000 and he actually spent $110,000 by secretly overspending his personal limit of $2,100 with a check for $21,000. That refers to the big check he wrote to a telemarketing firm called Holinshed, whose president says the $21,000 was for campaign calls. But that didn't show up in Del Mastro's campaign expense report, and that is the problem. In an affidavit, Elections Canada investigator Thomas Ritchie says this contract with a value of $21,000 should correctly have been reported in the Dean Del Mastro return as an election expense. However, the return only reported $1,575 as being paid to Holinshed. The amount of $1,575 was supported by an invoice supplied by Holinshed at Dean Del Mastro's request. Frank Hall, president of Holinshed, stated to me that Holinshed never provided any services in respect of this invoice, and Holinshed was never paid. The investigator concludes that, quote, the $21,000 contract with Holinshed was paid by Dean Del Mastro from his personal bank account in a manner that facilitated the concealing and misreporting of elections expenses and contributions. Del Mastro was stuck in the House voting today, but said in a written statement that his expense report was accurate, which is what he said last week.
My statements that were provided in 2008, some 4 years ago, accurately reflect all expenditures incurred by both my campaign and my association. Anything that I paid on their behalf was refunded to me.
The trouble is that even if Del Mastro was reimbursed by his campaign, that would still mean that his campaign overspent the limit. And the affidavit also alleges that his official agent was in on the scheme to conceal the overspending. Peter.
Terry Milewski outside the House of Commons tonight in Ottawa. Thanks, Terry.